2 years ago, we at MRC-TV reported on the ghoulish political opportunism some in Hawaii's government were employing in evident attempts to deflect attention away from their own bureaucratic mismanagement and their contribution to and worsening of the deadly Lahaina fires. Now, the leftist legal lords there just plunged headlong into a dubious new scheme, one that reeks of opportunism and collectivist hubris and a lot of shaky science. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC TV. You know, on May 28th of this year, Governor Josh Green of Hawaii signed Senate Bill 1396, a so-called green fee that slaps a 0.75% surcharge on tourists' hotel and short-term rental bills, pushing the state's transient accommodations tax, that's TAT, to 11% starting January 1st, 2026. The stated goal of this, of course, to raise money, $100 million annually to fund climate change resiliency projects and environmental initiatives.
It's not easy being green.
Yes, of course, that recently coined term climate resiliency, a new spin-off or play on the flawed assumptions of the climate cult and a means of leveraging those assumptions into new pork projects, ostensibly to decrease the risk of catastrophic property damage and death after disasters that the politicians blame on their favorite unfounded boogeyman. You got it, so-called anthropogenic climate change. As the governor's press release puffs, quote, "Today, Hawaii ushers in the first green fee in the nation. Once again, Hawaii is at the forefront of protecting our natural resources, recognizing their fundamental role in sustaining the ecological, cultural, and economic health of Hawaii. As an island chain, Hawaii cannot wait for the next disaster to hit before taking action. We must build resiliency now, and the green fee will provide the necessary financing to ensure resources are available for our future." End quote.
It's not easy being green.
Of course, free market journalists and economists often have noted that deaths due to natural disasters not only have not skyrocketed over the years, they've declined, in part due to a decrease in the number of high-impact storms, but also because markets incentivize greater quality provided at decreasing relative expense, thus leading, of course, to safer buildings and greater availability of emergency products and services with a focus on efficiency and personal satisfaction. And beneath the government's eco-friendly veneer lies a troubling mix of flawed assumptions, mismanagement, and a direct assault on individual liberty. Let's start with the so-called science, the lack thereof. For years, I've written about the questionable foundations of the anthropogenic climate change narrative. I've pointed to the shaky models, manipulated data, and outright suppression of dissenting voices. Yet, Hawaii's government barrels forward, embracing this narrative as gospel to justify taxing visitors for their supposed climate footprint.
It's not easy being green.
It is, of course, a big money grab. The idea that a tourist hotel stay or cruise ship trip meaningfully contributes to so-called global climate chaos is silly speculation, an unproven pretext for expanding state power. But more insulting is the political insinuation that this green fee is a fix, a response to Hawaii's 2023 wildfires, which Governor Green and his climate advisory team cite as a rallying cry for this tax. Green claims the fires, which caused $5.5 billion in property damage and claimed 102 lives. He claims that they underscore the need, of course, the need to gouge tourists and the businesses that rely on visitors for their livelihoods. But the Lahaina fires weren't sparked by so-called climate change, but instead by gross governmental mismanagement. The fires started due to poorly managed government monopolized power lines. And many residents feel that Hawaii's state authorities completely botched the fire response. Add to that the failure to maintain fire breaks or clear dry brush on government-run land. Those, of course, tasks that now conveniently will be repackaged as climate resiliency projects to be funded by tourists. Yeah, add it all together and you've got a big blame game. Blaming climate change is a sleight of hand, deflecting accountability from the state's own failures while saddling visitors with the bill. And this bill will be enormous. Tourists already hit with a combined 19% tax burden when county lodging and general excise taxes are factored in, are now forced to subsidize a government agenda rooted, of course, in dubious so-called science. In March, the Grassroots Institute of Hawaii warned that this tax will be disastrous, hurting tourism and the local economy. And they're right. When you penalize people for visiting, you risk driving them to freer, less taxed destinations. Unless it's stopped now, the green fee will grow. In Hawaii, the TAT will climb to 12% in 2027, and cruise ship passengers will face prorated fees for port time. What's next? Taxes on sunscreen, Governor? Governor Green's rhetoric about preserving paradise and protecting Aina land sounds quite noble, but it masks a deeper truth. The state is using fear and faulty science to justify its power grab. The Maui fires weren't a climate apocalypse. They were a government failure. Instead of addressing those failures, streamlining water management, improving fire response, decentralizing land use decisions, getting rid of the government tied to monopoly energy resources, Hawaii's leaders are doubling down. They're doubling down on centralized control. They're betting that tourists won't notice an extra $3 on a $400 hotel night, as Green blithely seems to think. But liberty-minded travelers, they might notice. And the overall cost per year is estimated to be $100 million. That is a lot of extortion.
It's not easy being green.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Say hello if you're over in Hawaii. Visit MRCTV.org. That's MRCTV.org. See what the whole team is doing. Visit the store. Please consider donating to the Media Research Center. And, of course, find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, on X. If you want to find me on Gab, I'm at Gardner Goldsmith on Gab. And on X, you can find me as at Gard Goldsmith. Thanks for watching. Please share the videos and follow us on Rumble, where they don't censor us. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.